What's good, y'all? It's that time of the year, and we've got bills to pay. So if you enjoy listening to the show, hit the links in the description to support by donating, joining our Patreon, or buying some new merch. If about 10% of you listening right now donate $10 to support the show, we'd have enough to cover an entire year's worth of cost of production. Over the years, I've been very intentional about turning down ads for things that didn't align with our values, so you don't have to listen to us talk about gambling or boner pills or any of that other crap. But that's only possible through the support of you, our listeners. So we've created some new ways for you to support, and again, if you enjoy listening to the show, hit the links in the description to support by donating, joining our Patreon, or buying some of our new merch. And of course, don't forget to tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a compliment will take you, and we all know how good it feels to be on the receiving end of some appreciation. Now let's get into today's show.
Georgia trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move!
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
Iverson against Gill, the crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast.
What is going on, everybody? It's Mike from the Sneaker History Podcast, and, well, we're back with another episode of Coffee Time Kicks, guys. And today I got another guest, a friend of the show who's been here before. It's been some time. We had to bring him back because he's always making moves, and that's the homie Mache. What's going on, brother?
Not much. We're just finally getting summer weather here in the Northeast. It's been like 40 degrees out here, and finally I can wear some shorts and stuff. And, you know, it's nice to know that in June that we're finally getting that weather.
Wait, where are you at?
Connecticut.
Connecticut? I don't know. This whole time I thought you were in Minnesota the entire time.
Everyone thinks I'm from Minnesota because of the Viking stuff. So
yeah,
I was actually in Minnesota last week. I was out there for Adam Thielen's celebrity charity softball game. It's all Vikings and stuff. So yeah. I didn't play this year, but I always take it as an opportunity to go there and kind of network with the new guys and people I haven't met before. Because, you know, not living in Minnesota, and a lot of the Vikings think I live in Minnesota, so they'll like DM me like, "Hey, I want to get something done. Can you come by the facility?" I'm like, "Bro, I live in Connecticut." And they're like, "Oh, all right." So, but it's good to do the game because it's kind of like, you know, it's not during a football game, it's not pregame, so they're not like distracted about playing football. You know, the fences are down. There's no security. You know, and they're chilling. We're chilling in the dugout. You know, BSing. Like I got to connect with the future in Minnesota, JJ McCarthy, and kind of connect with him and get to know him. I did his cleats in the preseason game last year where he got hurt, and then that was all she wrote. But that was through the Vikings. That wasn't through through JJ. So he never met me. Okay. So it was good to be like, hey, I'm the guy that does this stuff, and when we do more stuff, this is the guy, and whatever. So
it's dope, man.
Yeah, and he's, you know, I obviously I'm obviously rooting for him as a Minnesota fan, but the kid has a good head on his shoulder. He's very confident. The future is bright there. That's all I can say. I think in that situation, that's the best situation a quote unquote rookie quarterback could go into is what Minnesota has. Yeah. And obviously, I'm extremely biased by saying that, but I think but I do think that people that know ball would also agree. You know, I think that a lot of the weaknesses in Minnesota they took care of in the offseason. On paper, we'll see how it goes in September, though.
Right? It's like everything looks good. You just got to get into the game again and see what's up. I mean, one of my best friends, he lived in Minnesota for a while. He's a huge Minnesota fan, so he's very high up on what the team's going to be doing next year. So I think when he hears this, he'll be happy to hear that, you know, from like a person who's close in what's going on, you guys think the same thing.
Yeah. So this concludes our sports section of the podcast.
But if you didn't know, you're getting sports today on this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. But yeah, we don't care about the Vikings. What's up with the shoes? So, yeah.
That's all right. They can deal with it. We talk shoes all the time. We got to talk real stuff, real people. So, but exactly. We want to get into the shoes, of course. I mean, Mosh. I mean, two sneaker models. You made Footwear News' 2025 sneaker power list. You still pump out the cleats, the custom shoes. Man, when do you have time to sleep?
I sleep really well, to be honest with you. I think I think it's usually tiring, and like I'm thankful that like, you know, there's a lot of things I can kind of like have. Like I said, I have my guy Rob helped me out with stuff when I'm like doing, like checking out CADs for, the Miz's golf shoes. And we're doing stuff like that. Because like we have the golf's a whole other thing. Like, because you said 2 silhouettes, but we have 4, honestly. Because we got the V1
dang,
and V2.
I didn't even think about the golf side.
We got the V1, the V2, we got the Promenade, the Casual, and then we have the Golf. And the Golf the feedback's been awesome, and it kind of has put the battery in my back and really got me excited about what the possibilities are there. Because now I'm back into golf. I just went and got fitted for clubs 2 weeks ago, and I just got my irons in yesterday.
Uh-oh.
So I'm hyped. It's very exciting, and I think that the space is really excited about, the fashion and, they got the Malbons in the east side and, and now Malbon has the golf collab with Gap coming out tomorrow. So, like, there's possibilities of people looking for stuff. And obviously Jordan's been doing their thing, but I also feel like the novelty of the Jordan golf shoe, not that it's worn off, but I think people are used to it now, so they're looking for different shoes and silhouettes, and I think that's where the golf shoe kind of comes in. I've had a lot of really good feedback from people that play legit golf, and they're like, yo, these are dope. And I'll even send them to, like, Jordan athletes. I won't say which ones.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, these are really
Don't
good.
get them in trouble now.
Yeah, I'm not trying to mess their bag up. So I'm encouraged to keep going because, like, the first release, we made 100 pairs, and I was like, all right, let's see how it goes because I didn't know. I was just kind of, like, betting on myself, and they went quickly. I think we might only have, like, a size 6 and a size 14 left. The rest of them are all gone, and everyone loves them. So we've done one other colorway, and we have a couple more colorways down the pike, and then a bunch of SMUs, special makeups for, Andrew Santino. We're doing a pair for because he's a big golf guy, and then the Miz obviously has been supporting forever through WWE. Now he's trying to golf, even though he's terrible at it. But he still wants to look good. And
I can't talk. I'm terrible. I'm trying, though. I'm trying my hardest. It's just not getting any better.
It's a game that humbles you very much so. I mean, like I said, I played college sports all my life. And, it's so hard to get the baseball swing out of the golf swing. And, like, when it connects, it connects. But when it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I was playing last week, and I literally chipped this one shot, and it literally went 90 degrees this way. And my boy's like, you'll never do that shot again. And I was like, nah, I take it as a challenge. So, but it's fun as hell. And like I said, the golf parts, it's a whole new avenue for me. And I kind of feel like in the independent space, there aren't really too many really doing it. I mean, I think everyone's kind of relying on what's out there. That's cool. Like or seeing like, unspikeless versions of New Balances or, the New Balance or the Adidas or the Air Maxes. That's all cool. But I don't know. I think we're in a nice little space.
No, that's super dope, man. I think I completely didn't realize you did a golf shoe. Like, I'm so entrenched doing the 20 million thing, I didn't even realize it. And I looked up the picture just now. The dudes are slick, man. And I just, like you said, the novelty of the Jordan. I have the Jordan 4, the black cement golf shoe, super cool.
They look great.
I just recently played in the Reebok Question golf.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, really good shoe, surprisingly. I mean, I'm no golf expert, but super comfortable, really different looking. But I like that. Like you said, you're independent going out there to golf and really capitalizing on a great time because golf all of a sudden has not just like that's the same just old stuff you do is playing golf. It's everyone trying. I mean, again, ourselves included. And it's all about, I mean, I may suck. I may hook a shot clean left every time, but you know what? I'm going to look halfway decent out there.
Well,
so,
that's
dope, man.
I made a T-shirt that says, I look better than I play. So.
Oh, okay. I'm going to need to buy that. If you're selling that one, I need to buy that one.
We're gonna keep doing them because it's a theme that I think so many people resonate with because there's so much dope stuff to get, and we all look great, but we're absolute trash. So.
Abysmal, man. I'm out there. I'm like, oh, look at this shank. Oh, there. I go through a box of balls in 9 holes.
Yeah, I just bought a new box this morning, and the guy at Dick's was like, "Oh, I hope you don't lose them." I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow, dude.
I know I'm gonna lose them. I'll be.
Yeah, I just get the cheap ones. I don't care because I'm just gonna lose them anyway. So I'm not.
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
even
saying, man.
I'm not doing research. I'm good.
Like, this one has a liquid core that moves the ball forward. Look, you know what? I just need to get it forward. I don't care what else it does. I just need to get the ball to where the hole is at some point.
Fix me, please. Like the ball ain't gonna do it. So
Ain't
Yeah.
that the truth, man? And I always see like
Yeah.
these super cool like golf clubs come out. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Callaway. They came out with these all black irons. I'm like, oh, I would love to spend the money on that if I could justify my game. But guess what? I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I spend more money than I probably should have on getting fitted. I got some QI TaylorMades, and they just came in.
Ooh.
I'm very excited. So again, I'm gonna look great, but you know that's where that's where the story ends. But but yeah,
That's
so
dope,
yeah,
man. Well, shoot.
yeah. Carry on the conversation. What are you thinking? What's going on?
Yeah, man. No, I wanted to get with you on the really balancing the both. I mean, I know, of course, when people think of Mache, they're like, oh, Mache, the king of customizers from WWE, football, celebrities, you name it, NBA players. What? I mean, are you finding it easy to balance both sides of the business while you're creating a very popular independent model, which is amazing. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, but be able to keep that on track along with keeping that same business that you started with.
Gotten better at it because I think that one of the things that like when they talk about the conversation of like independent brands is those guys, and this is no shade to them. That's their thing. They run the brand. Like we do that, and then we're doing cleats and shoes and things. Like there's two separate things going on. So I got my man Rob helping me paint, and then for the brand stuff, I got my man Rich that is helping me with communications with the factory. It's not a big conglomerate of like I don't have like a materials coordinator. I don't have a color person. Like that's me. Like telling the story is either me or my wife. Like my wife tells some stories and she'll have an idea, and then it's my job to figure it out. So it's like I don't know. Like we wear a lot of hats and it's exhausting.
Oh
but
yeah.
But I wouldn't have it any other way because I think because I'm so proud of what I can do, and like I just know that if I let someone else take the wheel, then it's not mine anymore. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And
Yeah.
and my name's on the shoe, my name's on the bottom of it. So I take it very serious, and like everything. I think every independent guy would be like, my heart and soul is every release is into it. Like, what's your favorite colorway that came out? The one that's coming out next. It's that Tom Brady mentality. Because your energy gets put into it. Like there's a reason why you decide to put it out and tell that story. And every single shoe that goes out, I mean, has some way to tell the story, whether it's through materials or the packaging is always custom. Every single release, I take that very serious to like, tell a story, and that's where the customizer will always be there. And I'm really proud of it, and I think that the people that mess with the brand and believe in the brand and still believe in spending $300 on a pair of shoes, they know that a lot of time and effort is getting put into that product, and they believe in me and they believe in what they're getting, and that's kind of where the growth of the independent is. It's a good thing because people are open to new brands. You see people have broken past. Obviously, in the last like 5-10 years, it's not just Jordans, and they started to open up to the Asics and the New Balance and all that stuff, and then it's kind of like opening up the door to have them look at other brands. But then there's other things because maybe the person that loves the gel 1130s, it's a $70 price point or a $90 price point now with tariffs. But, still looking at a $300 shoe. So, like, when we did the independent brand, it was kind of like, all right, where's that space where it's still a premium but also doesn't alienate everybody? And, we're still working to get the price down, but it's like, I mean, as an independent, people still that breakdown of the Nike shoes being like $7. Like, bro, $7 to make this shoe. But here's the problem. They don't understand that the price that doesn't factor in marketing. That doesn't factor in all this other. I was going to start cursing. That's all part of the cost of the. That's all part of the cost of the shoe. People just see goods and materials. Yeah, that's cool. Like they say, Louis Vuitton spends billions of dollars, not billions, but like so much on their marketing to have their brand be elevated like that. I mean, shit, if I had that money, I'd be marketing like that too.
Do the same thing.
That's what we aspire. That's what we aspire to. But even with Nike, obviously Nike blew. Nike has a great product, but Whiten and Kennedy isn't cheap. Their ad campaigns aren't cheap. Like those are the things like all those Michael Jordan campaigns. It's all marketing, and people see that, and it's dope. Exactly, and that costs money. It's. And as an independent, I talk to my other guys that are independent guys. we're all on our own thing, like trying to tell our stories, and people just need to be open to appreciate what we're doing. And and obviously people can like do all this stuff and the product sucks, but if the product's good and there's a story, because I said this, I was talking to Jeff Staple because we're dropping another collaboration this year. I'll put that out there now. But I said, I was like, bro, I'm like, designing a shoe is hard. Like, just even designing an ugly shoe is hard, let alone one that's nice. It's hard. So it's a damn near miracle to make a shoe that people can mess with and appreciate, and not by themselves, because again, marketing and the sway of people's opinions and being accepted, like people need to be told what's dope sometimes, and sometimes you just need the right person to see the shoe to give the cosign, and it sucks that that's the way it is, but that's just how it is, so
that's how it goes. That's how it goes, man. I mean,
the life of an independent designer, man.
Well, you said something earlier about the price point. It is crazy because $300, maybe when you first started making like your first models, like, oh man, that's outrageous. Why is it so expensive? But I mean, Jordan Brand's putting stuff out $250, like $300 in case like the 17. I mean, it's not as far fetched anymore. And have you seen that increase on the big like mega brand side help when it comes to people understanding your price point now?
No. People don't want to hear it. But the thing, but what I will say is I definitely know, and I'm sure you could attest to this too, people are a lot more choosing where they're spending their money. They're not buying every single release. And I just know that everyone and people will message me like, yo, sorry I didn't grab this one, like whatever, like I'm like, my feelings hurt. I'm like, hey, I don't expect you to drop, because I drop a shoe every month pretty much, but the fact that they care that much that about that, I'm like, those are the core people, like, and it's not the cool guys. You know what I mean? Like the people that like you're sending the shoes out. It ain't those guys. It's the regular guy that has a regular job. That they're the ones that have like, they'll show me photos. They have 20 pairs of my shoes. It ain't.
That's dope.
Fat Joe doesn't have 20 pairs of my shoes. You know what I mean? I think focusing your energy on those
like
people,
the people who really are with you. Like you said, it's not the cool guy per se all the time, but you have your fan base who are going to be loyal to you, and it doesn't have to be the social media star or whatever it may be.
Right, and that's like, even when you talk about when they say like Nike makes billions of dollars and how all that stuff, it's the same thing. Like sneakerheads, we're important, but we're like a blip on their whole big thing. Like the cool guys are
in the bucket, man.
Yeah, I think we need to step out of our bubble every once in a while and understand that it ain't just us out here. So I mean, we got the 2 runners. We're working on a V3 runner. We're in development.
Ooh.
I'm not really putting any teases or sneaks or anything like that, but we're working behind the scenes, and when it's ready, it's time to start teasing. It's going to be a nice little departure from the V1 and V2, because I kind of feel like the V1 and V2 were kind of one and the same. Like they had the same shape, the same kind of vibe, and the V3 is a little different, and but there's still some DNA that lets you know that it's part of that lineage, but it's a little different. So I'm excited about it, and I know
your process of designing your models. I mean, like you said, even to create an ugly shoe, now we're far reaching to a good looking shoe, what you're making. What does that timeline look like for you?
I'll be honest with you, the V1 was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I kind of had gist of what I wanted to do, and it was just a little bit of just chipping away as a sculptor to kind of figure out what flowed and what didn't. And I think we only did a pullover and maybe 3 design changes, just to move things around spacing. So it wasn't that bad. Revisions, that's the word I was looking for. V2 was a little more involved. And then we ended up switching factories, so we had to learn a whole new process of how they do things, and and the V2 was the one where we did our my own tooling, and we designed all that from scratch, and that was obviously once we figured out that people liked the shoe, where I invested in the tooling, because the V1 was on Vibram and that was an open mold, and
Yeah.
it was funny because people that aren't sneaker nerds would see that tooling on different shoes and be like, oh, Mache, they're biting your sole. I'm like, no, that's not my sole. I'm like, but I think I might have been the first one to use it, so people were accustomed to seeing that, and it just automatically thought that was.
I got you.
So I would try to I would educate or have a conversation with people and let people know, but then it just got exhausting. I'm like, all right, I can't deal with it anymore. So so for the V2, we went all out and put my signature on the bottom and whatever, and it was received well. It was just as comfortable as the Vibram, and the V3 is going to be a little more of a sleeker, so a little less chunky.
Okay.
Not by much, but a little bit, a little more streamlined, just to kind of get away from the dad shoe-ish, even though I'm still dad shoe age. But a lot of the things that we like.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah. And I buy Jordans and things, and it's just more out of habit more than anything. It's more just to get that rush on sneakers, and then they just go in the pile. Yeah. It's one of those things.
I did it. Okay, next.
Yeah, I chased the dragon. I got it. I'll see you later. And that was it. But on to the next one. So I still do that, and obviously people that I know that I'll support, like the J Tips and those guys. Or if they see them, great. Even better. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And then the Promenade is still there. We use the Promenade a lot for a lot of white label collabs. Like we did a collaboration with Modelo and the Houston Texans and the Raiders 2 seasons ago. And we took materials from the jerseys, from the Raiders jerseys and from Texans game worn jerseys, and we sewed them onto the Promenade. And they did a whole big promo giveaway and stuff. And that was cool. And again, it's just another cool thing to kind of put a notch in the belt. I'm trying to think of other collaborations that maybe I didn't talk about or I didn't really show, because it's kind of we're all slaves of the algorithm. You see what they let you see. So we did a Promenade with Johnny Walker. We did
cool.
That.
Okay.
We did runners with Remy Martin, the cognac.
I didn't see that one. I saw that one pop up. Yeah.
Those are fire. Those the color, that color was great. We're hoping that those Frenchmen can buy in and decide to make a more wide release, because a lot of people do like those shoes. So we'll see.
Well, you had me at Texans though. I'm a Texans fan since I'm here in Houston. So I was like, how did I miss that giveaway? What was that?
Yeah. Actually, hold on. I got one here. Ugh. 1 sec.
Oh yeah, you gotta show that to the camera.
Yeah. So this is the Texans.
Oh, that's dope.
With the Modelo. And
that's so cool. Oh man, yeah, I didn't see that one. That was so cool.
This is actual jersey material, and then this was supposed to be from the pants, the silver, and
that's all. That's
all jersey material as well. So the equipment would send us the swatches, or they would send us game worn jerseys and pants, and we send them to the factory and cut them up and stuff.
That's dope.
It was cool. Yeah, we had a good little run with the Texans last year. Obviously doing Dave's cleats and then Laramie Tunsil's cleats. And then I had done a dope pair for Tank Dell right before he got hurt. Literally, bro, I was dropping them off at FedEx. I made a pair of Cheetah Kobe 7 cleats for him for Christmas. That's what he was going to wear. They're fire. I still haven't shown them. And I was literally dropping them off at FedEx to give to Tank. And my boy texted me, he goes, "Did you see Tank got hurt?" And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." Because me and Tank have been trying to work together for a bit. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." So I hope to God, he's a great kid. I hope to God he gets healthy and is back to where he is. I mean, it was pretty gruesome.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, they're on ice until he gets better. So they're ready to go whenever he's ready to go.
That's what he said. So, Godspeed. I hope, obviously for him, I hope he gets better. And then obviously, selfishly, I hope people get to see those things on the field.
Oh, I'm sure they will. And they're going to go crazy for him.
Yeah. So, yeah, season's already kind of going. People are in camp already trying to lay down the work for the season. So, it gets sooner.
Did you get random emails from like players? Like, I mean, I know you had ties with
DMs.
Minnesota teams.
Yeah, DMs or texts. Like a lot of times, like with Minnesota, like I have a close relationship with the equipment manager, so they'll just text me, be like, "Hey, JJ sending cleats or Jefferson sending cleats or whatever it is."
Makes it easy.
Yeah, so that's fine. And then again, like the softball game, connected with some guys directly, trading numbers and stuff. So and that's across the board. I mean, I don't. When we first started doing the custom cleats, like way back in the day, like my mentality was like, I want to work with everybody. I want to get everyone and realizing that when you have 1 million people and there's only 1 week a week, the quality goes down, and kind of have like a we have a reputation of the stuff. Even though the style of cleats has drastically changed over the last 3 years, I think all these guys want the bootleg Kobe's, or they want things that look like KDs, or and it's cool. Like obviously they want all their cleats to look like the basketball sneakers, which is dope, and that's obviously it's my lane with the paint. But people are doing the whole full recon on top of the cleats and stuff like that, which is a whole other art in itself. Like it's crazy what I've seen some of these guys do. People doing Christian Dior runners on Nike cleats and crazy things. It's wild. It's crazy. And
does it help?
What's that?
Does it help that like you said, at Kobe's, for example, does it help that Nike's starting to actually change these sneakers into cleats, so it makes your job a little easier instead of having to paint and make it look like it? Now you say, oh, there's actually a Kobe 6 out there, or LeBron 4.
Yeah, for sure. But it also, I mean, but then as the artist that likes the challenge, it is a challenge to take a cleat and be like, okay, how can we make this look like this and make it an optical illusion? But no, I mean, obviously, and then I saw some people like, oh, Mache, this is your fault that they dropped these. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, okay. I mean, obviously, I have nothing to do with that, but yeah, no, me and Diggs weren't on a run until he got hurt, and hopefully he'll be back in time with Houston, and stay out of trouble, and and he's close to me now, so I can make some deliveries and drive to Boston and get him some stuff. So that's always fun. Always fun. Man. But yeah, I mean, trying to think what else. I mean, we have a bunch of stories for the runners coming out. I teased a passport colorway that we're originally going to release this month. We're going to push it to August because we want to do a full rollout with it and really tell the story. I don't want to rush it, and it's actually my wife's idea to do the passport. It was her story, so. When she cares, I'm like, all right, let's not just rush it, because again, I hate to blame Instagram, but it's you can only do so much with your resources, because I'm not gonna pay blogs to go and post my stuff and whatever. You can rely on some kind of organic traction, and some do, but I also know it's a business, and I get that part of it. You can only get the homie card so many times, and I understand that. So, but if you want to blow up, you gotta do that. So, I think just going really in with the storytelling and the promo and stuff, and then it kind of becomes undeniable. You have to share it. You want to share it. And that's kind of one of these ones that I think it's a colorway worth putting in that time and that effort. Doing a whole collection. We're doing passport covers. We're doing the travel bags. We're doing all this stuff. Because when I first started the V1, we were really big on the travel. We were doing locations and destinations in America.
I remember those.
Yeah, so we're kind of we would not that we went off the rails, but we kind of just started going and telling different stories and stuff. But we wanted to kind of center it back and bring it back to some travel stuff. So the passport's kind of our bridge to bring it back and bring it back to that kind of location. Yeah. So it's a cool little whatever it's called. So that's fun. And then I said we got another one with Jeff coming out. Should be in September, hopefully, as long as everything works out the way it's supposed to. Because that man's all over the place. But we're But Jeff's great to work with. I mean, obviously he has a team and stuff, and that's what I aspire to. I want a team like Jeff. Jeff has a freaking conglomerate, but but it's cool. It's great because Jeff is really big on working on the independent stuff. And if you notice, if you saw the opening of 21 Mercer, his store, he doesn't carry any of the big brands. It's all independent stuff. I
didn't know that.
That's deliberate. You don't see him carrying Nikes. You don't see him carrying. If there's any major brand, I mean, it's not even really major, but he has his Brooks or he has his
his stuff he's worked on.
Stuff. Yeah. But anyone else that's not a staple brand. It's all independent or things that you would only see online. And that was deliberate by him. He wanted to make sure to have
That's
things
cool,
that
though.
I like that. And he was even talking about just in carrying my stuff just in line. So it's so just a real one for that. You could have sold
That's
out and
dope.
just made another 21 Mercer, if you wanted
Right?
to.
Yeah, just do the same thing everyone else did. But what does that look like for you? Like I say, you're running a small operation, or a true family organization. If Jeff wanted to carry your shoe in store, how does that change your operation to have more of a
It doesn't.
I got a stock?
No, well, I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here cobbling the shoes. We have a factory, so basically, it's just kind of more of a long game. You just have to order.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we decide to do, another. I mean, we're doing another collaboration, but then it's just figuring out numbers and distribution and all that stuff, and then those are just conversations that go on between in between other emails with other things that are going on. So it's just another thing. But it's cool because then again, like a collab with Jeff is definitely a 10-pole moment. It's definitely something that will bring new eyes back to like, oh wow, I need some people will be like, I didn't even know you're still making shoes. Like I had no idea. And they're like, yeah, we're still over here. And that's the
Still
part that's
doing
like,
it.
yeah. And again, I don't think I'm that self-important to have people. To assume people are checking for me every single day. My wife barely checks on me every day, let alone people that are just like casual fans. So that's how I look at it. I'm very realistic of my self-importance or my whatever it is. But again, the shout out by Forward News was dope. I think for what we're what we were doing, it was great. Peter had hit me up and kind of asked me, who I thought, belonged in the conversation, and he rattled off some names. And then the one person I did make sure to put on the list was Devlin from Saya Collective. I'm like, bro,
Saya.
I know I know he rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but you can't deny what he's doing. and it's like he's churning things out, and I was like, he needs his flowers because no one else is doing it. So he made sure to do that. So I was happy he did, especially with him rubbing, he has his own little squabbles with people in the sneaker world, but
that's everything in sneakers now. It's so crazy. I feel like everybody has for sneakers, for like this product that we put in our feet. You swear everyone has a beef with somebody or like misinterpreted something. Now some issues, like you say, or they perceive them being rubbed the wrong way. I'm like, man, we should be the happiest people on earth. We're dealing with something that we actually love.
Yeah. You would think, but I mean, I kind of just feel like the internet got people fucked up, man.
All the time, especially Instagram and stuff, man. It's wild.
Yeah,
it's like, dude.
What's on? But also you gotta remember that Instagram's the highlight reel, man. People see what people are presenting. They don't see me being stressed the hell out. You're not posting that, or if you do, I'm not making a reel about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you that part.
No one wants to hear a 46-year-old man complain about his life. That is doing fine. No, it's cool. We'll get through it. So
now, speaking about just sharing parts of your life, one thing I want to bring up because it's something that's important to me as well. But I love that you have you share your fitness journey, man. Your fitness journey in the gym, but also you didn't share. You have you made a whole shoe that was like the Mache workout, like that V2
runner.
That's awesome, man. I love how you're doing that. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, dude. I love it. The old school gym logo.
Yeah, like the box is crazy. Like you see all like the old workout stuff.
Yeah, man.
You got Arnold on the box.
Nice.
Outwork by none. Then we always do a little retro card like every single one. And tell the story.
So cool, man.
Little things, dust bag and that. But then the runner itself, like I said, that was them. And we were going for that old school vibe, just to kind of make it look like, the off-white, you think like the old bag, the old punching bags and things like that.
Like kind of that real thick canvas look, that stitched together feel.
Yeah, and the toe and the heel are made of rubber, so it's to withstand, toe drag if you're on your knees doing rows and doing shit.
Yeah.
Because and it was cool. I was very deliberate with who I seeded them out to. I wanted to put them to people that either one were friends that cared about fitness or whatever, like, Matt Welty got a pair because, he's CrossFit, whatever.
CrossFit.
Phil Heath got a pair, and he was wearing them all over, and he loves them. And, like, then like, a bunch of, like, smaller accounts just to, like, get general, feedback and stuff, and just people that I know fuck with the product and appreciate it, and don't just get not just like another box. They're gonna actually wear them, like, oh, these are the best shoes ever. So,
Facts.
but yeah, like the gym stuff, it got what it happened. It kind of was a turning point. Like I said, I played college sports all my life, so like I always played sports. I was always a big dude. I was a pitcher. I was always big. I was never. I got down to like 195 at one point, and I was like running crazy. I ate no carbs. Like I was miserable, dude. Like I looked sick.
Couldn't maintain that, man. You weren't built for that.
Nah. And like I had it for a bit, and then I gained it. And obviously, when I got into doing what I do now over time, and obviously traveling and more, not a sedentary style, but like sitting and painting and all that stuff. You're in airports, you're late nights, you're eating like shit, and the weight came back twofold. And the turning point was back in 2020. It was either 21 or 22 when the All-Star game was in LA, MLB. I did cleats for Derek Jeter for the Hall of Fame. So they had me like commemorate all his World Series on Jeter cleats and like every single World Series. And it was the whole thing in MLB. And I met Derek, and it was a great experience. So I brought one of my boys who's a diehard Yankee fan.
Oh man, he over the moon.
I made like a Make-A-Wish. Like, here you go, bro. You meet Derek Jeter. But I met Derek, and Derek's like, "Hey, I'm Derek." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." Like, bro, I know who you are. But like we went through the whole, like, we had a whole thing where we walked around, and he was basically like recounting all the World Series and telling the story, and it was really cool. But
that's legit.
Circling back to the reason, I saw the photos in the video. Man, I was so freaking big, and it was embarrassing how fat I was, and I was just bloated, and like it was just like you almost look at the photo and you don't even want to show it because it was such a cool, like, it was such a great experience and cool, but I almost want to forget it too because, like, damn, I can't believe how big I got. And like, I hate, and I'm sure people that fellow big guys hate being called big guy, or like, hey, like, and I know they mean no harm by it, but as someone who's been a big dude his whole life, you don't want to hear that. Yeah. And again, I know they're being nice, like, so like I don't get mad at them. I'm more mad at myself for like letting myself get to a point where I'm seen that way. So anyway, I started getting back into the gym, and I was like, got a trainer. There's a gym right by where I live, and it's actually Bubba Ray Dudley's gym. And the wrestler. So they have a wrestling ring and stuff, and the guy that runs it is an independent wrestler. Obviously there's a regular, gym in there. It's not just wrestling. So I'm not in there taking bumps and stuff. But but yeah, so I was training with one of my guys, and for a while he was this jacked Brazilian dude. He knew what he was doing. Great guy. He actually was in the video for the gym runners. He was the one that I was doing the video with.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, he's jacked. So he was my trainer.
Big guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I dropped like 70 pounds. Like, and it was like, when you're big, man, you gotta lose weight. You gotta like if you go back and see like the old photos, like you see it like in my neck and my face and stuff. But But yeah, so I got down to 70, and then me and my wife went to Scotland and went around, gained some weight again, kind of eating the good food, drinking the beer and stuff. And then football season started, and you try your best to kind of make the right decisions, but you don't. So like I think I gained back like another 20 of it, but then now we're just back to chipping away, and I'm at a happy spot. I mean, obviously we'll always be fine tuning it, and we'll never be totally happy. The body dysmorphia is in there and whatever. My wife's like calling me skinny, but it's really true, man. Like body image is such a thing. Like even with dudes, I think
it's insane, man.
Yeah, and guys be like, or they say like, yeah, guys are working out for girls to give them compliments. No, it's dudes telling you how good you look. It ain't.
That's
like I just lift.
What they call it, the Superman complex. Everybody wants to be built like Superman, man.
Yeah, but like just have dudes tell me how nice my calves look. Like
it's like, hey, it's a good day at the gym. I appreciate you, man. You made my day better.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm walking a little taller that day. But But that's kind of not been my identity. But I make it a priority to do it and post stuff. And a lot of people were like, yo, thanks for posting that. You got my ass going, or because you went and I went. I wasn't gonna go. So then I just made another separate page, for it, and just been sharing every day. It's just basically some bullying. Like, don't be a lazy shit. Go to the gym. Find the time, because I got friends, and I was the same guy. I got this deadline. I can't do it, and I'm a hypocrite. I talk big because I went today, but what about the day where I was too tired? So we're all fighting through it. So I just kind of feel like it's cool, especially with Men's Mental Health Month. It's cool to have people know that there's, we're all going through the same shit, man. And then even if I don't really know you or you don't really know me, if you can see yourself in me or I see myself in you, great, hell yeah.
Yep.
One person telling me that's going to keep me posting, showing that I did shoulders today. So
No, I love that, man. Just like you say, it's kind of that through line in sneakers. Like, hey, I know you know me from sneakers, but hey, like you said, we can relate to each other on a different level, and we all go through kind of that same struggle, man. Like with you, like say Welty at the CrossFit, like myself, I think I started CrossFit 2 years ago. My wife and I, it's just cool, man. Like just to get the strength and try to like you say, keep tuning yourself up, man. Like all we do is we're just getting older, so let's try to stay around as long as we can.
Yeah, bro. I don't want to be one of those old guys that's all hunched over and fragile. And I want to be, lifting a house. I want to be.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to be that old guy that Body by Mark stops in the middle of the road, goes, "Hey, you're jacked. What do you? What's your workout regimen? What are you doing?" I want to be that guy. And then when I tell him how old, I'm like, "Oh wow, you're 46 years old. That's crazy. What do you eat?" I'm like, "I eat pizza. I don't do cardio."
I always tell my wife, I want to be 50 before my son can beat me in a foot race. So I'm like, that's my motivation. Like, I can't let him beat me.
There you go. But yeah, it's good to have them goals, man.
Yeah, man. And like I said, told that story in the shoe was dope.
Yeah, but it was just like, I don't know, like I don't want shoes to just be my identity. You know what I mean? Or like that's not my person. I mean, I love shoes, but I don't want to just be some shoe dork.
Shoe
you know
guy.
what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy. I'm 46 years old, dog. And not to say there's an age limit on stuff or whatever. I mean, shout out to the old guys who are still doing it, because I'll still be that old guy, but it just can't be my whole identity. That's all. I there's more to me, and it's even funny because I'm dropping pounds, but I'm also dropping followers. People don't want to see me lifting weights, so it's whatever, man. If you don't like it, fine. I'm cool.
Yeah, whatever, man. That's not Dude, some of my favorite content I've done, it is my favorite content, has been testing out workout shoes, like Reebok Nanos or stuff from On. And it was last year, my brother and I, we did the world's hardest mile, world's toughest mile. We did when we had one of his buddies shoot it for us. First of all, I would never recommend anybody doing that. That crap sucked, but it was cool. It was you tested the crap out of yourself, man.
I'd say once it's done, it's kind of the sense of accomplishment's great.
Oh yeah,
it's I did a 72-hour water fast last month.
Oh,
that's terrible.
How was that? Oh my god.
Don't recommend. But you know what? I had gone on a trip and I had ate absolute garbage, and I just kind of needed to reset it. My stomach was all jacked up, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna try this because I've gone a day without eating before. I was like, all right, let's give it a try. Let's see how it goes. First day was fine. Obviously, I'm used to eating all day, so I mean, I'm obviously hungry, but you go to bed early, you kind of power through it. Second day was rough. I started to get the headaches and the foggy brain and all that stuff. But by 7 o'clock, my head was pounding, and I was just and there's no water or electrolytes that are going to help that. I take some migraine Tylenol, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then the third day, I was like, all right. They say you get some clarity or a high that day. I didn't get any of that. I think that's, but my workout was pretty good. My workout was all right though. I didn't feel tired. Second day I was dragging. I was an absolute waste of space. But the third day I was all right. And then by the time I was done, me and my wife were we were already plotting what my meal was going to be when I was done. I got lobster roll, so I was good. We made it worth it. But I didn't go off the deep end because that would have really jacked my stomach up if I went and got all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, you would have been done for a whole another 24 hours, man. In the bed.
Yeah. But
What,
yeah,
they
I
say
mean,
your
I
body
also,
goes through like ketosis or something like that
Yeah.
for that. Like your body's
Yeah.
just eating its own body fat at that point, and that's what that third day you're
Yeah.
supposed to get that supposed high.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I lost 10 pounds,
So like,
and yeah, I mean, then obviously, like you get back to it and you kind of level back out, but it was still a cool
Yeah.
like kind of sort of like obviously if you're trying to like I don't know if you have like a wedding, cool, maybe you want to do it if you want to try, but like I wouldn't
Yeah.
tell regular people or someone who has a little bit of sugar to do it, you'll die. Like my wife tried it, she lasted like 12 hours. She's like, I can't do this. I was like, no. I was like, I told you not to do it. But she's like, you did it. I'm
No
like,
one
yeah,
should do that.
I'm
That's what you're saying. No.
yeah, that's what I say. I'm also not hypoglycemic and stuff, and I have plenty of fuel to burn off. You're little, so you'll die. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think what else is really going on. It's literally shoes, gym, tan, laundry.
Hey, straight Jersey Shore, man. There you go.
I try to stay out of the sun, but now it's golf customs lift and whatever.
Dude, that's what's up, though.
Yeah. Oh, I have a collaboration coming out with a barbecue spot in July. So
Okay, now we're talking. Hold up.
so it's actually how we were talking about like just supporters and stuff and how much we appreciate them. There's a barbecue spot in Connecticut that's by my house, and when me and my wife first moved there, they were having their soft opening. This is 10 years ago, and we tried out when we first moved it out, and they blew up. Like they're big out here. Like they got a nice big following. They do all this stuff, and the thing is, they always buy my shoes. Like always support, always show love. We always go there, all that stuff. And I was like,
That's
bro,
dope.
I'm like. How do you feel about having your own shoe, like doing a drop here? And he was like, bro, like, yes, let's do it. And I was like, first of all, I was like, would you be able to sell shoes before anything? Because I was like, like buying food is one thing. I was like, but what do you think your supporters will spend $300 on a shoe? He goes, bro, they'll support it. I'm like, okay, and like either way, he was in. So so we designed it. It's coming out in July. We're gonna do a pop up at the barbecue spot, local thing, obviously, and then maybe we'll release it online. So it's gonna be a small little like niche drop.
Yeah.
But it's on the V2. It looks like the DQM Bacon and the Utah Runner had a love child. That's the colorway I can kind of describe it.
Perfectly smoked is the color.
Yeah. Because think about it. I mean, how many more colors of meat can you really think of?
Yeah.
But like I didn't want to like totally just jack Dave's,
For
color
sure.
range. I got
Now,
bacons
if I
at home.
open it, did it smell like that's get like a rack of ribs smell coming out of there?
Well, the pop up's gonna be there, so it's gonna soak up. Like those places, the smokers are always going. So
Just hang them over there.
probably. So
Dude, that's cool. I love that connection.
Yeah, but again, like it's kind of like that's the cool part about like being independent. You can just go do that. You don't need to go like we did an internal collab with Coca-Cola last year. We did Coke runners for internal. They're absolutely fire. Like they're I'll show them to the public eventually. They're really dope, and they're not what you would expect. I'll just say that. And they went over really well, and we were gonna go to public with them, but we were all ready to do a drop, and we almost got to the finish line, and then they pulled the plug and whatever. So corporate America, dude, it happens. But
I guess you got to just be ready for that, right?
Yeah. Hey, it happens, but like again, we still had a collaboration with Coke, and you never know, it could still pick up again. Who knows? But they will get shown to the public. I was holding off in the hopes that we would do a public release, so I never showed them what they look like.
Okay.
Besides internally, but I'm gonna do a full on photo set and stuff on them because they're too nice to not share, and it's a cool notch in the belt for the resume. To just kind of say that I work with Coca-Cola's Disney. You know what I mean? Like that's a big brand and like
big business, man.
Yeah, well, and it kind of again goes back to like perception of the brand. Like, bro, like this little independent brand. We did a collab with the Houston Rockets. We did a collab with the White Sox. We did a collab with the Minnesota Twins. We did collabs with Modelo. We did a collab with. I'm going down the line of all these major brands that we worked with.
That's amazing. What, Remy Martin?
Remy Martin
Right.
and there's more. Jeff Staple. We've done stuff with. I'm trying to look at other shoe boxes. Charlie McAvoy from the Bruins. We did the collab with him.
Oh, okay,
We dropped that at Concepts.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was his. Yeah. It took me a second. I'm like, wait, I remember this one.
Yeah, and the pop up. We had the pop up at Concepts, and what was funny about that was, Charlie. He likes shoes, but he wasn't really introduced to the sneaker world and the lineups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when he came in and there was a line outdoor for that, he's obviously being signing and obviously Bruins fans. It wasn't just sneaker people or fans. People could give two shits about me. They wanted to meet Charlie, which I totally understood.
Move, Mache.
Yeah, we're in Boston. We're in Bruins country. We're not in Moss country. So I knew that, but Charlie's in there, and he's signing jerseys and signing shoes and doing all that stuff. But he was so good to all the fans and having all these conversations. But they were trying to move the line. But he was having, everyone's telling their story, oh, this is how I became a Bruins fan. Yeah, and and he's very locked in, talking to him, and we're trying to move the line. So, Rob, later, buddy. See ya. So it was cool to expose Charlie to that and let him learn and see how that goes. And I remember just Dion was all part of it, and Dion's great, and he's like a figure of lore now of how he is and how he carries himself, and he's like an elder statesman now, and it's just funny to see how people that I've known for decades have turned into these brands themselves and whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. So
it is dope, man. It shows how growth that happens in these in the sneakers. I mean, you become legendary to a degree, man. Like you say, Dion, Jeff, those guys out there. I mean, when it's all said and done, your name's gonna be up there too, Mosh. Think as this master customizer, great with the independent brand. You're gonna look back and be like, oh dang, they're like Mosh, that guy,
It's better to have people like you say it than me, because then I'd be like, bro, you're gassing yourself up. But I don't know. Every once in a while, my wife will remind me, bro, you don't realize all the things you've done. Mm-hmm. Oh, even I don't know. Remember just recently, Swerve Strickland came with a Reebok, the Answer 3. Mm-hmm. We pushed that to happen because we did the shoe together first, and they pushed them to do that.
Really?
So Swerve won the title in Mosh Promenade High Tops.
Yeah.
We did a shoe, and it was a collaboration. It was a 3-way collab with me, Swerve, and Flash Garments, who's does his song Flash, and he's all over the damn place, with his sneaker stuff and around West Side Gun and stuff. He's a character himself. But Flash said we were talking about doing it, and Flash put it in motion, because I've known Flash since he was a teenager, and he put it in motion to connect with Swerve and do all this stuff, and we did the shoe. And obviously, it's a lot of legal stuff with AEW and whatever. That's actually the reason why you haven't seen any WWE collabs with me, officially, because it's all red tape. I can do stuff with them, customs and all that stuff. But
a one-off kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah. They're not selling them, so it's not a big deal. But but the conversation was had and just kind of stalled and whatever. But I mean, it'd be awesome, and I think it would be very organic to have a collaboration with WWE. I think it would be. Yeah. just given the relationship. But again, it's the people that make those decisions may not know me. You know what I mean? It's kind of all right,
for sure.
Well, but if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and I'm totally happy still maintaining my relationships, because that's the thing.
That's the important part.
I'll go text Liv Morgan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's cool that you can do that, or Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
or Balor,
I said, the relationships are the most important part. I mean, I feel like they'll come. They'll figure it out. I mean, I feel like WWE is. I mean, they're definitely trying to push to the people. Again, I feel harder than recent years, and
sure.
I think seeing that how sneakers have become prominent. I mean, how many sneaker guests or sneaker shopping guests have they had on Complex now? How many Nice Kicks post of, what are they wearing at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So I feel like they're going to get the picture one day. It may not be the top of the list now, but you would have to be the first person to call.
You would think, but we'll put it in the Lord's hands and
Yes, sir.
Triple H's hands, and hope it all works out. But yeah, man. And it's just funny because I'm literally down the road from Stanford, so it's a hop, skip, and a jump. It's not far away.
Just keep driving by, like, hey, I know you see me.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been in there plenty of times for different things, just not yet for that. So it'll happen. It'll happen eventually.
Now,
yeah.
Now, one I need you to make. I don't know how many people would actually want this, but I'm a huge tennis fan, dude. I need you to make a Grand Slam pack and just all the majors.
Oh,
and
bring
just
it back like
I'm thinking to the friend. I'm watching the French Open replays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a few runners, man. Like have like a. Huh?
Remember how Packer and Reebok did that whole set? They did.
Some years back, and then also they had the AirTech Challenge 3s from Nike, but they were like kind of super hard to get.
Yeah. I have the Australian Open ones, and I have the US. I have the second US Open. The first ones are the ones I want. I want the black with the blue sole Tech Challenge. I want those. And obviously, they wouldn't be wearable. But I have the U.S. Opens and I have the Australian Opens. I don't think I got the Wimbledons, but the Packer Reebok pack was crazy. Like that whole pump pack.
Yeah.
Where, like the French Open had like the clay on it and all that. I like that.
I love that with the clay on it.
Yeah,
I love that shoe.
That was a great pack. I feel like it's weird. Like we're in a weird spot, and I know it's because of like different generations and how the youth never saw Michael Jordan play, and they're like, who's this old guy? And the kids don't care, and the kids again the kids are generating to match runners, and they're wearing Crocs, and like different stuff. Like it's a different time, and the people wonder why shoes aren't selling out. It's because kids don't have a connection to the white cement 4 like that. They weren't around for that. Like that last. We're happy to have a retro for the third time in the last 20 years. That's great. And we'll get them.
Yep.
But the kids aren't checking for them. They don't care. And the thing is, like
they don't
we're
care
now
about
in a
that.
spot. No. And the spot, we're at a spot now where we're like in between the resale culture and the thing and the sitting part. If it's sitting, it's a brick. Like no, it's not. That's how it used to be. And don't get me wrong. Like we all want to have shoes that other people don't have. Like I'm not gonna act like I'm like, oh yeah, I just wear GRs all the time. No, I have a corner of my room of like all my like. Most people have never seen these shoes before type stuff, and then all my other GR stuff, and then like I have like tiers of where things are, but like my whole corner of like PEs and like all these different things. Like I think my most coveted shoe, and it's more for sentimental. I mean, it's worth a lot of money too, but sentimental value are the Mango Kobe 6 Barcelonas. Are like my like.
I was just talking
favorite.
about those the other day.
Bro, I had this is how I attained them. This is back when all the LeBron 7 and 8 PEs were a big deal, and I had the Cavs Fanatic 7s. They look like Redskins colorway, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember those.
I had those. I don't remember how. Actually, someone traded for me for a custom, and this was back in like 2000. I don't know, 13, 14 maybe, whatever that time was. Maybe even before that. I don't remember. Anyway, so someone had the Mango Kobe's, and I already had the 7 Barcelonas, like those teal and orange ones. So I was like, and I always wanted the 6s, and I was like, I'm not a soccer fan like that, but I just love the colorway, and I think they're dope.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah, I'll trade them, and I'm glad I did, and I think I wore them like twice. And then this is when I was just kind of starting up with the customs, and we were still kind of building things up. So I wasn't like I was doing okay, but I could have always made more money. So I ended up selling a bunch of pairs to DJ Skate, and I sold them. And I sold them those. I sold them the Bin 9s. I sold them a bunch of like high ticket ones. And it was, but selling the mangoes was like my biggest regret now because obviously finding a size 12 was like a nightmare. And Ski and I told Ski like immediately, I'm like, yo, I regret that so much. And I'd see him wearing them on like full size run, or I'd see him like showing them on eBay. I'm like, those are my fucking Kobe's.
He's like, I'll buy them back. I'll buy them back.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, bro, I'm like, let me know. And he's like, no. So finally, like, earlier, no, it was like late last year. I happened to find a pair on eBay, and it was dead stock, and it wasn't that crazy. So I actually messaged the guy, and I ended up trading some other. I traded like 2 pairs for it, and I was now it's like reunited. Like obviously he made out on the deal. Like I understood I had to have him.
Yeah,
like,
but you knew it was something you needed to have, so you're okay with the loss.
Exactly, and I was so happy to get them back, and I'm like afraid to wear them because like now because whenever I know there's a shoe that's worth a lot of money, usually I put them on immediately, so I wear them, so I don't have to worry about like, oh god, like now they're just sitting in, now they're stock,
they're gonna crumble or separate.
Yeah, exactly. So like now if I wear them, I'm like, okay, well fuck it. I pulled the Band-Aid off, and you just gotta rock with it now. And that's kind of my mentality now. Like if I know something's like worth something, like all my Travises, I make sure to wear those because like I had the Travis 4s. I had all of them, whether it was seed or retail, and I wear all the low tops. The lows I wear, and like, but I ended up
the lows
selling
are way nicer, I think.
Yeah, like I ended up selling the first Mocha ones because I never wore those. And I was like, why do I have these? And I remember I sold those and I paid for wheels for my Jeep at the time. I was like, why do I have these shoes?
That's crazy that you can sell a shoe like, hey, I got 4 wheels for my Jeep.
Yeah. But it's like things like that, like priorities. Like I said, obviously I love shoes, but they're not that important.
Oh yeah.
It's still
they're bargaining tools sometimes. Like if I need something, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have to like save money or pull money for somewhere else. Let's go to the stacks. Let's see what I can get rid of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. Then you feel better that it's not real money. You know what I mean? It's like
you know what? I love it because I do because like I got rid of something to get something else, so it's an even trade.
Yep, in my mind. And the wife doesn't care, so it's fine. So
there you go. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy.
As long as she's happy, everyone's happy. That's how it goes. We know how the show goes.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Shoot, man. Well, heck, I appreciate you coming on, Mache. It was great getting catch up with you again, man. Know everything you got going on, and everything I can truly appreciate, like what you do, man. Like from the customs to stepping outside the box and creating your own shoe, man. So much luck. I wish all the success on what you're doing, brother. Like, keep it up, man.
I appreciate it. I hope I didn't say anything stupid or anything condemning to myself, because sometimes I just start rambling and I say shit that I forget that I'm being recorded. Like I remember real short. I'm not going to divulge the whole thing, but like I was doing a story with Wealthy for Complex, and I was BSing. So I was off the record, and I said something, and he put it in. I'm like, bro, you cannot put that. And he was like, but you said it. I'm like, dude. I'm like, do you know how to maintain relationships? I'm like, no, you cannot put that out. So.
Nah, I wouldn't do that to you. I will always let you know. I always tell people, if I think it was kind of like, it can hurt you later, I'm going to tell you first. I'm like, let's take it out and make sure you're good.
I think I was good.
Yeah.
But you never know. Sometimes, again, I get too comfortable and I just start talking. Because there's other conversations
you were solid. Nothing.
Okay. I was going to say, because I have other conversations that sometimes if I say how I really feel about some things, then, but that's a whole other story. I just saw that Rodgers just signed with the Steelers. All right. Well, that's good.
Finally? I mean, this is like the worst kept secret in the NFL.
Worse.
We knew this 6 weeks ago.
Bro, I have a lot of people do like him now. Like I heard he's actually really cool as hell, even though with all the stuff that goes on with him.
That's nice to know.
Everything goes with him. Like I remember Devontae Adams wanted me to make custom golf shoes for him. He wanted to make Big Lebowski golf shoes for him, which would have totally made sense for him to like put the dude on a pair of cleats, golf spikes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just for like the dude to buy on the back or something.
Speaking of, next time you come out to Texas, if you're in the Houston area, we gotta go shank some balls in the trees somewhere, man.
Hell yeah.
we gotta go
We'll do
lose a
that.
box of golf balls.
We'll do that, then we'll go to Buc-ee's. I love
Oh
Buc-ee's.
yeah, you gotta go to Buc-ee's. Like that's it's like a
Bro.
staple, bro.
Yeah, we went to Dallas for the All-Star game last year. Like I said, it's like a yearly trip. We always go to the All-Star game. Me and my boys. And the first time they ever been to Buc-ee's was last year. And it was like 45 minutes out of the way, but we ended up making the trip twice because of how great it is. And we're going to Atlanta. We're going to Atlanta this year for this year's. And the first thing we all look is to see where the closest Buc-ee's was, because in the Northeast they're not there, so it's like a big thing. It's like going to Disney World.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
it's like the mall
good.
of gas
So
stations.
good.
It makes no sense.
None.
But shoot. But it's amazing. Like, I always tell people, if you drive in Texas, if you see one, just stop. You won't regret it.
You might buy a kayak. Who knows?
Or smoker. Like, where are you going? What do you need a whole smoker for? But hey, you got one.
It's like the gas station, Walmart, and Bed Bath and Beyond, and that's the Beyond in the back with all that stuff.
And that might be the best way to describe it, with the barbecue joint thrown in with Mexican food.
Yeah, bro, it's so good. So you never have a bad trip. You never do.
No. I've never been to a bad Buc-ee's. Never been.
No, and everyone's always so happy. It's great.
And you can even take a shower in there, which is crazy. Like, you feel like you've been in a car too long, you jump in and take a shower.
I was just gonna say, like, impeccable bathrooms. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Dude, they paid them a lot to work there. Have you seen, like, the one ad they put on the door? It's like $150 as a manager. I'm like, I may switch professions and go work at Buc-ee's.
I think everyone has that conversation with themselves. Like, you know what? I might just throw it all away and just start running Buc-ee's.
I feel like I'd be all right. I feel like I can support my family, get snacks.
Unlimited beaver nuggets and get some brisket. Yep. All the beef
I'd be
jerky
like
you want.
$450 when it's all said and done, but it's like...
I'd be happy. It was a good run, man. It was a good run.
It's a good run.
Well,
oh, shoot.
Well, this concludes my fitness journey. I'll see you later.
We went full circle. We went from fitness journey to ended it all for Buc-ee's. So
yeah. Now I'm riding a Buc-ee's scooter, yeah. God.
With a Buc-ee's onesie on that you can buy, like you literally.
Bro.
I'm sure there's a scooter in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I love that they got merch. That's so good. I bought a hat. I definitely bought a hat. I don't know where it is. I gotta go find it now. God.
Look, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised one day I see a Supreme Buc-ee's collab. Wouldn't even surprise me.
It'll happen.
Will I buy it? Yes.
Of course. Will I buy it? They gotta make some Eric Emanuel Buc-ee shorts.
Oh, don't do that. Little multi-print Buc-ee beaver all over them.
Just beavers all over it. I would so buy that. God.
Here's my money. Here's my.
I might just jump the shark and do it myself. Fuck it. I'll do it.
Hey,
get Buc-ee,
you got a Buc-ee shoe that's red and yellow with some beaver hair on it?
Yeah, bro. Get Buc-ee on the line.
I'm buying it, bro.
Yeah.
We can at least get Buc-ee on the line. Let's get him. I will buy that. I will personally call you, like, to save my size. Here's the money.
Yep. Yeah, we're ready for it. Man. All right. Well, I gotta go grocery shopping.
I know you got gangs of stuff to do, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the time.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the outlet to talk. Because again, like I'm kind of like, I don't talk that much, but when I do, I try to make it count.
Hey, man, I love it. I love it, man. So you already know where to follow Mache. I ain't even gotta have him tell you where to follow him. So y'all go follow Mache. Y'all stay in tune with the drops because he's dropping dope stuff all the time, man. So keep up with him.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
So you guys follow. Oh, yes, sir. Follow, subscribe, Sneaker History. Follow Mache. Until next time, guys. See ya.
Hey, y'all. Nick here. One more thing before you take off. Do us a solid and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Check the links in the description to help us keep the show going. And as always, we appreciate you listening. And don't forget to tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a compliment will take you, and we all know how good it feels to be on the receiving end of some appreciation. Peace.